What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Holy crap, she really believes that I'm someone else.
This wasn't the time for him to just stand there and say, "I'm sorry, but I think you got the wrong guy." To begin with, before he could say anything, she would have to remove her lips from his face. Masayuki thought he would soon be out of breath.
Just relax. In moments like these, you must maintain your composure.
He reevaluated the situation. It was a battleground here. His enemy stood directly in front of him. He was flirting with this breathtakingly beautiful woman.
I feel like I'm going to heaven because it's almost too comfortable, yet I can't enjoy it right now. What on earth am I doing here?
The more Masayuki pondered it, the more perplexed he became. The only thing he knew for sure was that his life would end the moment he was revealed to be someone else. There was no justification now that he had done this in front of so many people. This could hardly be anticipated to get much better, not even with Masayuki's luck. He found himself in a position where he was both enjoying his incredible good fortune and anticipating the impending disaster that lay ahead of him. Masayuki paused in his thoughts. Since he was doomed to die, he might as well be thankful that he was able to experience a kiss in his final moments. That's what he concluded, and he accepted it. As Masayuki's face grew increasingly dreamy, his consciousness began to progressively fade. All he could do now that he had made up his mind was take pleasure in the circumstances, and the onlooker's misunderstanding was only accelerated by that attitude.
The expertise of His Majesty is unmatched.
I think it's a little disrespectful, but that's how I feel. Seeing two adults gaze at each other with such intense emotion and their unchanging love is a privilege. I sense an unbreakable tie that leaves no place for anyone else.
Lady Velgrund resembles a young woman in love. So the Empire's guardian dragon is in love with His Majesty.
Yes, the Empire will be safe finally.
Not one person had any negative feelings for Masayuki. Indeed, there was not the slightest doubt amongst them that Masayuki was the actual Rudra. He wanted to tell them all how wrong they were, but his mouth and lips were occupied at the moment. "But I've never been married or even had a girlfriend." He had to laugh at how ridiculous the world was. Cornu, his enemy, came to his rescue.
Velgrund, I'm tired of this absurdity. Why, Sir Michael is supposed to have you in his thrall. Why do you keep getting in my way?
Cornu considered Velgrund to be a totally captured and valuable pawn on his side. Right now, her meddling was sending him into a fit of furious wrath.
My, how arrogant of you. The only kind of man who would get in our way is an idiot.
Velgrund gave Cornu a sour look as she eventually pulled away from Masayuki. Though her stare was intimidating, it didn't deter him.
Shut up, help me out and stop playing around. Grab that man you're hugging right now and strangle him to death.
He could not have uttered anything more forbidden, and Cornu had no idea how much it incited hatred in Velgrund.
You mean you want me to kill him?
The battleground became completely silent. Cornu was the only one who didn't grasp what was happening and kept shouting.
Velgrund, don't make me say things again. Though you may be stronger than me, in this situation I am the higher authority. All you have to do is obey my commands.
And until the very end, Cornu never comprehended what was going on. He simply lacked the mental capacity to understand that Velgrund was not the same person she once was.
No, you are going to die.
It was a really cruel blow. The resurrected Velgrund possessed unmatched strength, her power now honing in on a sharp point. Cornu was reduced to a heap of ashes with exact precision. He vanished without an opportunity to retaliate or even say anything else. More astonishingly, the attack managed to traverse many dimensions thanks to Dimensional Combo, a component of her recently discovered Dimension Leap ability. Before it could even sense danger, Cornu's real body in the other realm he now called home vanished.
I let it pass last time, too. What an idiot. I had almost completely forgotten about my resentment towards Feldway. I shouldn't have allowed myself to act in that way.
Saying the words aloud, she turned to face Sariel. Masayuki interjected.
Oh, actually, her name is Kronoa. Just a moment ago, she saved my life.
It's all right. I have no need to do anything, so I won't. Michael's influence implanted Sariel's ultimate ability within her mind, but she is resisting it on her own. Because of this, she is immobile. However, you can have Rimuru examine her afterwards if you're still concerned. I am certain he will have the perfect cure for it. I don't think it will be necessary, though.
Velgrund turned her back on Sariel, who was occupying Kronoa's mind. Masayuki finally relaxed after realizing he didn't have to be afraid of Kronoa. Thus, the battle came to an end. There were plenty of people who shared Masayuki's relief, but there were also many who started to feel uneasy and fidget. Those who were troubled were individuals who were aware of Velgrin's identity. The first one who was determined to take action was Bernie, who was standing close to Masayuki. He leapt forward and went to his knees because he was standing closest to Velgrind. He then spoke so quickly that he nearly fell down on his face in prostration.
Lord Marshal, I am Bernie, ranked 7th in the hierarchy of single digits. I hope you have peace, Lord Marshal.
You don't have to salute. So, what exactly are you trying to say?
Yes, I ignored the commander's directive and gave up on my goal of killing this boy Masayuki. I am aware that my transgression carries a death sentence, but Lord Marshal, there is something I would want to ask of you before I am punished.
The entire place fell silent once more. After hearing Bernie's remarks, the soldiers came to the realization that Velgrind was the Marshal, the Imperial Guard's supreme leader. While many were perplexed, the majority were convinced. Reality finally dawned on them as their comprehension grew deeper. Velgrind would punish those who were considered losers. There was nothing to be gained by resisting her. They couldn't do anything else but wait for her decision because the Marshal was so powerful that she would destroy even this labyrinth. They naturally started to form a line and wait for the verdict. The conversation went on in this uncomfortable environment.
What is it?
Our commitment to the Empire never wavers. Regardless of what His Majesty the Emperor desires, we must execute his orders. For that reason, I would like to request your approval so that the soldiers can go home. Executives, including myself, have no objections to accepting responsibility for their punishment. But
that's enough.
Bernie seemed disheartened when he was interrupted. He wanted to cry because he realized how powerless he was and that there was no way he could change their destiny. However, Velgrind laughed upon seeing Bernie.
Oh no, did I say something wrong? For a group of idiots, you guys did a fantastic job, and for that, you deserve my praise. I appreciate you keeping my dear Rudra safe.
The soldiers collectively dropped to their knees and hung their heads.
I never intended to do anything to you guys, to begin with. For me, Rudra is the most important thing. Since Rudra cares about you, I will also protect you. This was the case in the past, it is the case now, and it will always be the case in the future.
Velgrind's remarks were like holy scripture. Cheers sprang up among the soldiers. Some cried happy tears. Calgario and Minutes were equally affected and persuaded by Velgrind's remarks. Finally, the crowd's chants of, "Long live the Empire," were non-stop. Masayuki stood there thinking, what the hell are they even talking about?
If my understanding of what they just said is right, they truly think I'm Emperor Rudra. My mistake for not bringing it up earlier. After all, Bernie is aware of the facts already. I'll be the one in danger if it's discovered. And the kiss. I'll be dead for sure.
Despite the fact that Masayuki's name was not Rudra, nobody seemed to be questioning this. He thought he was going insane or something because of that. Honestly, Masayuki couldn't contain his excitement after the kiss. However, he truly felt that getting involved was not his intention.
What's wrong? You seem upset. Let me know if there's anything that's still bothering you.
When Velgrind spoke to Masayuki directly, he seemed a little startled.
No, I'm not thinking about anything.
He struggled to put the words together. Velgrind's facial expression was clouded by the awkward display. She asked cautiously.
Could it be that you don't remember me?
For Masayuki, this felt like a test. So what was the appropriate response? If he got it wrong, he was in serious trouble. He told himself to take a deep breath because his thoughts were racing. Yes, he remembered her, if it was a yes, no question. She was unquestionably the beautiful woman he saw for the final time in his original world. Did he, however, know her name?
That guy addressed her as Velgrind. That is the name of Veldora's sister, isn't it? Absurdly powerful and all that? Furthermore, the guardian of the Empire, and other things.
This internal struggle was bearing fruit. He was starting to remember more and more details, and judging by the Imperial soldiers' reactions, his suspicions were probably right. Because of this, he placed his bet.
You're Velgrind, isn't that right?
A broad smile spread across Velgrind's face.
Yes! Rudra, you do remember.
Masayuki's good fortune did not desert him even now. Velgrind was overjoyed just to be called by her name. Additionally, it wasn't all that.
I see now why you were looking so worried. Actually, I forgot since I was so happy to meet you, but Masayuki is your name right now, isn't it?
For him, things continued to get better. Those doubts about Velgrind being with the wrong guy were long gone.
Hold on, what? This girl knows my name as Masayuki Hanjo?
Absolute relief. The sort of relief he hadn't experienced since his birth. He was so at ease that he nearly lost control of his bladder at that very moment. Then before things got hairy on him again, he tightened up.
Yes, it is correct. Right now, I'm Masayuki, not Rudra. To be honest, I think I'm a little lost in all of this, too. Ha ha ha.
He laughed, watching intently to see how Velgrund would respond. There were other issues besides her, though.
Considering what's happened, I'm sure everyone here thinks I'm Rudra. I think telling them I'm someone else will just confuse them. But I can't have people say I'm pretending to be the Emperor. I need to let them know I'm not the guy.
Though he wasn't sure if it would land him in jail, Masayuki was determined to clear the air. He then made the decision to be honest, but Velgrund was having none of it.
Oh, that isn't an issue. The Empire has no value. It is merely a possession and a sort of interest for Rudra. He simply kept it secure since he would need it in his rivalry with Gi. What if I completely destroyed every square inch of it for you if you don't think you want it?
It really was the speech of a god, a being that exists outside the realm of perception. The troops of the Empire became pallid. Everybody was staring at Masayuki.
No, don't. Please stop blaming me for it.
The burden of this responsibility, along with the sensation that the eyes were burning holes in his head, prompted him to finally speak up.
No, I care about the Empire. In fact, Rimuru wishes to be friends with it in the future, among other things. You know, after this war is finished, we could sign a treaty, establish good relations, and all that.
Masayuki, in other words, fervently insisted that the Empire should not become a scorched earth. As if he were a god, each and every soldier serving the Empire started gazing up at Masayuki with adoration and awe in their eyes. Just doing what she said didn't require much work from Velgrund because she was a just-do-it kind of person. The Empire would have been annihilated if Masayuki had not objected. Everyone recognized this, which is why they were so grateful to Masayuki.
Oh, then I'll keep helping out with it if that's how you feel.
Grinning, Velgrund answered. There was a collective sigh of relief from the warriors. On behalf of the crowd, Calgurio spoke.
There is just one thing I would like cleared up for us if that's okay.
He had discomfort on his face. He obviously did not want to reveal what happened afterward.
What is it?
With a tone that suggested she was eager for this to end, Velgrund asked.
Oh my lord, about our present emperor, Sir Rudra. I wanted to ask some questions. What is going to happen to him?
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Zach Rosan, Jerry Sladek, Stone Larone, Ekotski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Charles Bailey, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Nick H, Andre Hamilton, Jason Torres, Sedney John Rementizo. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.